Dungeons has been out for a week now, which means everyone is bored of it and it's time to go back to the usual grind and or complaining on the forums. Dungeons obviously isn't Skyblock's final update, it's still in prototype lobby and there's a lot to add to Skyblock before it can even remotely be considered released. Heck, we don't even have half of the first dungeon yet and we're all thirsty for more. But we won't be fighting Necron for what I would imagine to be at least a few months. Of course, Dungeons isn't the only update being worked on right now. Oh, also, socials boom, distro socials boom, daily Twitch streams boom, sub like, ring the bell if you want, and that's pretty much it. Intro done. Damn, I'm getting better at this. In the forums post for the release of the Catacombs, Jaya mentions a focus on finishing the next few floors of Catacombs and the new islands. Of course, finishing the Catacombs is going to be the main focus of a lot of the developers. Jaya does mention another update being relatively close to being finished, but what is this update and what will happen after the Catacombs is finished? Well, for starters, Slayers haven't been updated since they came out aside from a few changes. Minikloon has also mentioned previously a Slayers V2 update that would come after Dungeons, and I'd imagine that would be relatively soon. This is set to bring more tiers to Slayers, specifically and in between for tiers 3 and 4, as well as a harder tier 6 and 7, with their tier 7s requiring yet another drop from a lesser Slayer to summon. Ew, RNG. This update may also add new Slayers, although I'm not entirely sure what other mobs you could base Slayer around. Maybe Endermen or Blazes? Who knows? After this update, Jaya mentions the desire to implement new islands that drop gear better than the end does now, and better than floor 10 will drop from dungeons. This is great news because, well, more power and we can finally stop clicking those zealots for ungodly amounts of time. What will this island be? Who really knows? It might not even be linked to the current islands and maybe through the wizard portal, but we all know that leads to fanboy hooters. If you go to the Mushroom Desert, there's an empty jump pad that leads to the Abyss and a long fall to your eventual death. If all the islands leading up to this are farming islands, then maybe this island will have some farming level requirements. Now I see why HellCastle got Electrics to build his pumpkin farm. Hey, wait, what? That's me. There are many other aspects of Skyblock that could need to be improved. Mining as a skill is almost entirely leveled up through just having minions set up. Fishing at speed gain is way too slow, and some other islands could do with some improvements, questlines, or races. No matter what, I'm looking forward to a lot of new updates related to dungeons, new islands, and better gear. I estimate a new floor of dungeons coming out every 2 weeks or so, which gives everyone time to level up to be way too overpowered to the point where the dungeons are practically unenjoyable and a one-hit right-click fest. But nonetheless, there will be new puzzles, enemies, and bosses to fight that we're all looking forward for. Thanks for watching, my gamers, and I'll see you next time where I blow all of my contraband on some stupid shit and make the forums go mental.